This is the scenario mode. Here you enter the open world sandbox. There's a tutorial here that explains the resource system based only on distance. There are factions to interact with and open world content that unlocks as you grow your population. Many of the building options are aesthetic, but some also influence your settlement or commanders. Figuring this out is part of the game. A few words of advice. Building is mostly free, but it requires being in range of a resource extractor, and building up around an extractor improves its range. The answer to many questions in the game is to build. Building up your population from a faction will, for instance, unlock more captains and commanders in the soul tree. Always keep building.
Our people were wrecked during the War of the Tree. Dunkel, Castellus, Moorbridge, and even Port Remit. Nothing remained of our prosperous free houses after decades of attrition. We took what we had and left, in order to resettle in peace, away from the warlords and fiefdoms that remain. We will succeed, because on our backs the past was built, and from our hands the future will be wrought. Ah, you're finally here. We've already built a few essential buildings. I'll assist you in connecting things up and getting the settlement up and running. While you're on the ground, we will focus on a single building at a time. This will allow you to build outward in a variety of ways and upwards later on. First, connect this outpost to the wood mill, which is located down in the shallow water beside the sea tree fungi. Without wood, we cannot build. Good work. The wood mill is now delivering wood further than before, so we can move on. Across from the wood mill, we also built a stone quarry. Let's connect that to our settlement. This resource extractor is missing access to workers. This stone quarry works similarly to your wood mill. It produces stone that can travel a limited number of walkways. This facility is providing resources throughout our settlement. The more resources it generates, the further away these can be supplied to other towers. Outposts can be upgraded as well. Let's use the stone to upgrade the outpost to its second stage. We can add foundations to basic towers and outposts. These allow workers to build a higher class of housing on them, increasing the worker output. worker output of our outpost can be improved further by connecting more towers and walkways to it. All towers allow for foundations, wood, stone, and later, command towers. Command towers also allow for battlements. Select your outpost, so we can start expanding it further. Well done. It is time we started to explore the world around us and seek out iron ore. Take to the skies in our Surveyor airship. Use your Surveyor to navigate the Earthsea. As our settlement grows, new commanders and captains will reveal themselves. We can also interact with the other factions, asking them to trade, declaring war, or even inviting them to join us. Use your Surveyor to explore the Earthsea. It can build resource extractors, harbors, and outposts on other islands. Protect it by being escorted by the other units, and there will be different models later. If we can recover a naval command harbor later on, we'll be able to build you a flagship as well. This will enable you to sail and fly around the Earthsea. The world map shows our holdings, which we can fast travel to. I will also mark any freelance captains that enter our waters, as well as suspicious locations. You have no available resource extractors. Use your surveyor to explore the Ursi. It can build resource extractors, harbors, and outposts on other islands. Protect it by being escorted by the other units, and there will be different models later. If we can recover a Naval Command harbor later on, we'll be able to build you a flagship as well. This will enable you to sail and fly around the Ursi. The world map shows our holdings, which we can fast travel to. I will also mark any freelance captains that enter our waters, as well as suspicious locations. Pay attention to the political influence of your settlement. If one faction becomes dominant over the other, before the Great War, use your surveyor to explore the Ursi. It can build resource extractors, harbors, and outposts on other islands. Protect it by being escorted by the other units, and there will be different models later. If we can recover a Naval Command harbor later on, we'll be able to build you a flagship as well. This will enable you to sail and fly around the Ursi. We now have access to iron, but it needs to be transported across the water. Let us build a trade route for ships that can transport iron and other resources back and forth. You have no available resource extractors. We now have access to iron, but it needs to be transported across the water. Let us build a trade route for ships that can transport iron and other resources back and forth. Several captains are now available. Each captain holds specific resources. For this trade route, iron is required, but wood is also recommended to expand the mine later.
I will carry stone and workers only.
I will only carry iron and workers for our industries. The iron I transport is helping our settlement grow and prosper.
Harbors always need to be built as pairs. As soon as you build two, a trade route will connect them. Captains will carry your resources over vast distances. Your outpost isn't being supplied with the iron required to upgrade it. You can either expand your iron mine industry or create a shorter route that your iron resource can take. You have no available resource extractors. Splinters, the currency of the Ursi. Before the war, these were revered by the sea chantresses. These superstitions have waned ever since the war, as the Ursi seems littered with them. Select your outpost, so we can start expanding it further. With iron, we can start building defensive structures, such as command towers. But before doing so, we should upgrade our outpost into a citadel. Citadels and the workers they provide are one of the many sources of faction influence. Find or acquire outposts from various factions so they can populate our settlement with their people, thus unlocking new captains and commanders for us to hire. With all major resources now at our disposal, let's focus on building command towers. These can be built with multiple floors as well as additional foundations and balconies. Mighty command towers have the potential to reach high into the sky. Their height can be increased by adding more foundations, as well as having better access to workers. Build this tower as high as possible. Our struggle is rewarded with an increasing amount of splinters. We can use them to reduce unrest amongst other factions, or use them to repair and heal our fleet. Change the floor you are building from. Lower floors build foundations, while higher floors build balconies and sky bridges. Command tower foundations are strong battlements that support your tower. Foundations allow more floors to be built on the tower. Balconies are built from high floors. The more expansive your tower, the more powerful your commanders will become if they are assigned here. This command tower is looking stout. We have a commander among our retinue. Let's assign them. This will do two things. It will enable the commander to spawn units, and secondly, it allows the commander to build turrets to act as our defense. Here you can assign a commander. Once assigned, you can set their stance and purchase more units with the splinters you earn. Earn splinters by growing your population or by trading with other factions. Your commander always starts off with some units for free, but here you can purchase more using your splinters. The size of your tower determines the maximum amount you can purchase. This tower and its commander now stand watch over our settlement. More commanders are unlocked by growing our population, and as the population grows, we can tax and earn splinters. With those splinters, we can buy more units for our commanders. Our goal is to grow and survive. Expanding our population will increase the soul tree, thereby unlocking new commanders and captains, while also earning us splinters through tax. Trading resources with other factions is also advised, but beware, we might find ourselves aligned with one faction and out of favor with another. Now it's all up to you. Head out and explore the Earthsea. Rebuild our society as you see fit. Protect yourself and our citizens well. Good luck. You have no available resource extractors. You have no available resource extractors. Any production facility will show its production power. The more resources it generates, the further it can bring those resources across your settlement, as shown in this mode. Resource extractors cannot be upgraded. Encourage workers to settle around them to gain more output. Resource extractors cannot be upgraded. Encourage workers to settle around them to gain more output. It's too deep here to build anything.